We're going to talk about this more with Ketavan Gorjistani, who joins me now on set. Ketavan, talk us through the latest developments with the attacks and the consequences on the region.
Well, really, this is the largest attack that the Houthis have launched on this Red Sea since the start. But we're really seeing this being sort of not a daily necessarily, but very regular thing that they are really pounding the Red Sea, especially the Strait, to sort of disrupt the global supply chain. They say that they're targeting mostly Israeli-linked ships, but other countries in the world are saying that increasingly there is no longer any link with Israel, and they're simply targeting whatever ship comes through. And what is important is that this latest attack, which is the largest one, comes a week after about a dozen nations, led by the United States, put out a joint statement really condemning the Houthi strikes and telling them and warning them of the consequences if they did not stop these strikes. That said, so far, it hasn't changed what the Houthis are doing, and we haven't seen really a sort of retaliation from these nations. You're seeing the United States or the UK shooting down missiles, but there's no offensive reaction, retaliation against directly the Houthis. You mentioned that the resolution at the United Nations Security Council, that resolution is expected to do sort of the same. Condemn and warn, but there is debate over the resolution language when it comes to recognizing the right of each individual country to sort of react and defend and use whatever means they want to defend their own ships. And the reason for that is that no one wants to see an escalation there, and especially they're worried about what it would mean to have an actual U.S. retaliation, what it would mean for security in the Red Sea, what it would mean for the very fragile ceasefire in Yemen, and of course the possibility that could bring in Iran really more into this conflict than it already is.
Right, and this is as there is this new U.S.-led coalition that is supposed to be protecting the Red Sea, but given all the attacks that we've seen, it doesn't really seem to be working.
Yes, when they presented this operation called Operation Prosperity Guardian, the U.S. boasted that there were about 20 countries that were joining this coalition. And yes, we've seen several countries, including most notably the U.K., participating. The Greeks and the Sri Lankans have announced just recently that they were going to add a warship to this coalition. But when you look deep inside, between those who said they were participating and since then have sort of distanced themselves, those who don't want to be named but are participating, others who have simply decided not to join, you're seeing a sort of uneasiness, and that uneasiness is most notable when it comes to European countries, especially France, Italy, and Spain, who were mentioned in that initial announcement. But since then, they've all sent warships to the Red Sea, but they've all decided to do that, A, to protect simply their own ships, B, not under U.S. command. So you're seeing really that the uneasiness comes in joining a U.S.-led coalition in the Middle East, which historically causes a lot of uneasiness. B, it's also uneasiness about being seen as participating possibly in the escalation if the U.S. were to retaliate. And so you're seeing all of these countries deciding that, yes, they agree with the U.S., they support the effort to police and protect the Red Sea because it's protecting the global economy, but also at the same time not really wanting to join forces with the Americans. And so this is a very difficult balance that they're trying to strike. How to stop the Houthis and protect the global supply chain while at the same time not angering the region and not contributing to potential escalation.
Okay, Ketavan, thank you so much for that. Ketavan Gorjistani.